everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Making a Difference in Mental Health. I'm Danielle.
I'm Wendy.
Wendy?
This is it, girl. This is our last episode for season 4.
Yes.
So we thought we'd do a nice little recap of the things we did in this season, and hopefully next season will be even more fun, more new things, and hopefully nice and cultured.
Yes, I'm excited to just do the recap
Yes.
because honestly, I think this season so far has been my favorite season.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've been out in the community a little bit more, and definitely we'll do that more next season. So we look forward to that. I actually enjoy being out in the community, networking, meeting new people. I think it's super fun.
Yep. So let's go ahead and just start from the top. We might be looking off screen for just a little bit because we have so many notes to share, but you know, this is what we do sometimes. So let's go ahead and recap starting from the top with January.
So January was our trip to the African American Museum of History and Culture on MLK birthday. And that always is a great trip. Just, landing on his birthday, Dr. King's birthday, and just looking at African American culture from, the 1600s all to present day. And I always tell everybody how I get stuck in the basement because it's just so much
there is so
history and learning around slavery and just things the culture has gone through over the years. I think for me, it was nice to see Emmett Till's coffin. I think that was a big event that day for me, just to, if people know the story. I won't get into it, but you can look it up, Emmett Till, and just to see the coffin that he was buried in, and the coffin that was actually open, so his mother could show the world the atrocities that happened to her child. So during those times, in Jim Crow, and so really, really amazing. What Danielle spoke to you?
Well, I remember, yes, we started in the basement. If you're ever in the Washington, D.C. area, we do say just take a trip to the museum. I even remember when putting the video together, just opening it up from the sounds of the seashore and African drums. And, you can go check the episode out on our
great episode
on our YouTube. But the transition from slavery to just all the way down to seeing the transition with civil rights. And honestly, though, what I also enjoyed was seeing the African American art and creativity, from music, jazz to just, when we got the acting, when we got to the culture section or the section that had the music and
the TV shows from back in the day.
I mean, it captured and it just kind of chronicalized the importance of Black Americans and their contributions to media.
Right. And I just want to highlight, you said, the contributions to media and to overall American culture that Blacks have made over the years. Gives you warm feeling.
Yeah. And then ending on, and I remember there was a point in time where each one of our episodes was always centered around hope. And in that, the end of the museum at the top, or well, we didn't make it all the way to the top, but at a certain point, we ended with Obama, the presidency, and right when you walk in, you see the word hope. So I loved that episode. That was so cool to film, to make, and to just be a part of.
Right. It's so necessary, so timely, given what everything is going on in the country. So again, that's always a spot I love to go to and share those moments. And so as we moved on, I was just, thinking about some of the highlights of our season 4, and I truly enjoyed the Modality series.
Yes.
I think that was an important series because our audience members don't know exactly, when you say therapy, well, what are you doing? And what are you trained in? And so clinicians are trained in different modalities or strategies or skills used in therapy sessions, individual family work, to help a client heal and get better. And so we talked about 3 of them, I think. TFCBT, which is trauma focused, cognitive behavioral therapy. We talked about DBT, which is dialectal behavioral therapy, and as well as art therapy. And I think people don't realize that clinicians are very creative. They come up with creative things to do and use creative mediums, such as art. And so what do you think? We had Yashira talk about DBT, excuse me,
Nikia has talked about
Nikia
TFCBT.
TFCBT, right?
Willa
Thank
talked
you.
about art therapy.
Right.
And you know what I like? I like the idea, like you said before, there are different modalities that you can use because not every client is different. Excuse me, every client is different. Not every client is the same. And the situations are different. So it's not a cookie cutter thing where you can just apply, you know, one type of modality, one type of right. Yeah. It's not like that. And you know, Willa even talked about how if a client is not able to express themselves with words, here comes the art, right? You know, whether it's painting, coloring, sketching, or just constructing something to be able to express one's innermost thoughts or feelings. Right. And then, you know, with Yashira, with DBT, really like challenging a client to face exactly what it is, what's happening in the moment, and not, you know, going too far left or too far right, but just going directly to the issue and how else can we get to a place where we can solve to be functional, you know?
You know, TFCBT, taken from that DBT philosophy, is more trauma focused. Right. And it also helps clients to change their thoughts and feelings so that their behaviors change. And so it's a lot of cognitive restructuring, I'd like to call it, how you rethink about yourself and about the world around you, and how you focus more on strengths as opposed to weaknesses to get through what you're trying to get. Right. But TFCBT, I think, you know, is a modality that's very successful in cases that involve sex abuse, cases where there's a lot of complex trauma. And, you know, we have a lot of therapists who are very skilled in that area. And it's nice to hear Nikia speak about it. Right.
And the one very cool thing here at ABH is that that's what we're focused on, being TFCBT certified.
Absolutely. We are a trauma-informed agency. Yes. Yeah. So we always take trauma as our number one priority, working with children and families. So, you know, that was a great episode. I think also, to me, it never hurts to, you know, repeat some of these things so that, you know, our clients have a better understanding of exactly our clinician training and what we're really trying to do here at ABH in terms of making a difference in mental health and helping our clients become successful. Right. Okay, so that was a highlight for me. What were your highlights?
You mean for this particular series?
Or the season.
Oh, the season. There were a lot. You know what? Let's talk about our field shows.
You love that. Yeah.
I love going out to the field. Like and what we mean by going out to the field is like getting outside the studio and just, you know, going to a specific destination. Many of those destinations were our public schools in our community schools. So in our particular counties that we work with, we went to Potomac High School, we went to Flintstone. And when I tell you, it was so much fun to be in the field and to set up our tables for advanced behavioral health and to communicate and, you know, have great conversations with the community, with parents, with students, with teachers, and to get Wendy out there.
Danielle loves when I'm dancing. Loves when I participate in, what was it? Some exercise.
Listen, I love it. Wendy's, and Wendy's such a like a team player, because I'm like, you know, go join that exercising group, or if they have something featured for the community to participate in. Usually it's for the students or for the teachers, but I'm like, Wendy, go ahead, and she does it.
Yeah, all jokes aside, it's absolutely the funnest thing to do. I truly enjoy it because, you know, I think about our time at Flintstone Elementary School, and I just thought, wow, what a nice thing Kaiser Permanente did to have a bus so that parents can have their children evaluated on the spot if they haven't had like a dental exam or a shot of whatnot, a vaccine. And so just to have them there and have access to the community, I just thought was just the best thing.
And that's a great thing to highlight within the community. There's so many different resources that are happening in our community that sometimes our community doesn't know they have access to. So like you said, having the Kaiser truck out there for the medical exams. There was, on that particular day at Flintstone, there was a woman, a lady who was teaching everybody how to do Zumba. They had the food truck there. They had the bouncy. When we were at Potomac High School, they had a yoga section. Of course, they had the working out.
And the boxer, she was a boxer.
Yes, and that particular day, we thought it was going to be a rain out because remember that day it rained and they moved everything inside and it was just as good.
Right. I love the flexibility and everybody's like, this is such an important topic that we're just gonna, move it indoors and people walk the space that we were in, participated in the yoga, in the exercising. There's great music and great connection that day. A lot of resources for the kids that day. And I got to talk to some of the kids in the ROTC program and talk about their future and what they wanted to do and, why they were here today on a Saturday, rainy Saturday, with mental health. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So this is encouragement for all those who are viewing, check out your community resource list when it comes to your student or your child or, someone that of a particular school age and see what kind of resources or community day or health fair day or health walk day that they may have at the school, because there are a lot of different resources that you can find: mental health resources, medical resources, food resources, donation, those types of things. So just an encouragement to find out what's going on in your local school area and participate. Go. There's free resources.
Great. And May was Mental Health Awareness Month. So all the schools in PG County were doing a lot of activities, like on the weekend, mental health walks and things like that, to just shine a light on the importance of mental health, the importance of, keeping students safe and providing them with services and resources while they're at school, as well as their families as well.
There was a lot. So just remember, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and there's always something going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think the other highlight for me was our conference, our men's mental health conference. So that June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. A lot of people didn't know that on our panel. A couple of people did because they're therapists, but the average man doesn't know that. And so we here at ABH like to shine a special light on that. We have male therapists here, and working with men is just as important as working with women in terms of the family structure and children. So we wanted to give space for men to talk about, well, what's happening, especially in the world of sports, especially in my favorite world, football. So we were able to get some coaches who coach football and track, and a therapist, Udoka, who works here at ABH, to participate. Mike, who's in our finance department, brought his buddies to talk about, coaching football, what it looked like back in the day, what it looks like now. And I'm happy and optimistic to see that there are strides being made with sports and just young men, young boys, to be able to express themselves more appropriately, as opposed to, back in the day, kind of hiding it. And, football is synonymous with being tough. And I think, toughness really for me comes with being vulnerable, but being able to say, I'm not in a good space, which is completely separate, I believe, from your play. Like you can be, if your headspace, I think one of the gentlemen on the panel said, if your headspace isn't good, then you're not going to play well, and it's going to affect your team. And I truly believe that. And it's nice to see the progression, nice to see that that's the direction these coaches are moving and with the kids.
I like the idea that even one of the coaches said, we didn't have this when we were young, when they were young, but they're open enough and increasing their awareness about mental health and the connection to sports on and off the field, to have the conversation and to push the conversation forward, not only with the players, but also with the parents. And I really liked that they talked about different instances where they connected with some parents. And again, not just, validating them on the field, but one of the coaches said, well, we might have lost the game, but I still have a 3.8 GPA or something to that effect. A 3.0 GPA. I'm still winning somewhere, right? Acknowledging the wins.
I love that. So, and I just think, people are just more aware of just the pressures that,
Yeah.
these kids go through, especially, dealing with COVID, coming right out of COVID. You and I talked multiple times about that whole cohort of people, our students coming out of COVID and, what they experienced prior to it and during it and what it looks like right after it. And there's still recovery going on. The kids have struggled. So it's an extracurricular sport. And it's, it's nice that kids have that ability to participate in those sports, and that mental health is paramount. Right, for them. Yeah.
So, but there was another conference too.
Yes.
In June.
That's right. It was such a long season.
But I this particular conference, our sister circle, was amazing. And I had the opportunity and pleasure to be able to present for our sister circle. And we talked about, for my particular presentation, it was the impact of being superwomen. And so it's kind of a nod, because before we have International Women's Month, in months before, and just kind of a nod to women to take care of our mental health and our mental health, wellness, and well-being. And the entire day was amazing. Again, that episode is also uploaded on our channel. We'd love for you to go over there and take a look at that. But that was an amazing conference, and I was just honored to be a part and for Wendy to just be such a cheerleader. And
absolutely.
Let me tell you, Wendy is a good partner in crime, a good co-host. Thank you. The best. And but it was and we want to shout out to Miss Tracy for just a phenomenal day, bringing forth women who are in different areas of mental health and tap into mental health and wellness, and just presenting it to other women who kind of, I feel like, needed the day.
I think everybody there was just like woosah. Like, somebody's hearing my needs and speaking my language. And it was just an incredible day. And you are a phenomenal speaker. And I was happy to be part of it, happy to connect with Tracy, who is the founder and executive director of our sister circle, to make that day happen. So really excited about that.
Yep. And so, I mean, there were so many more moments for season 4, but these are the ones that just kind of stick out for us. We would love for you to comment down below, like, comment, share, subscribe, but let us know what were your favorite moments of season 4. These are my favorite moments of season 4.
Mine too.
Yeah. And I'm so looking forward to season 5. Yes.
I can't believe we're at season 5. We started this podcast during COVID with, kind of out of boredom and, what's a cool thing to do for the company. And then, we started just being, verbal. No one could see us. You could just hear us. And that was kind of,
those were the fun days where even though we were recording, you couldn't see our faces. You couldn't see us messing up. You couldn't see the bloopers, even though I have a lot of bloopers. Maybe one day I'll put together just a blooper reel. But we've grown so much, and
since season 1.
And this season I feel like has been our best season yet, and I'm just looking forward to what season 5 holds for us.
Yes, as we plan our next adventures with ABH and making a difference in mental health.
Yes. So for now, I'm gonna sign off, Wendy.
All right, I'm with you, Danielle.
Okay, I'm Danielle.
I'm Wendy.
This is Making a Difference. We're always striving to make a difference in mental health. We'll see you next season.
Bye.